Welcome to Journey into the Mind, a place where your beliefs shape your reality. In this video, we'll explore the groundbreaking work of Carol S. Dweck, PhD, and her book, Mindset, The New Psychology of Success. Dweck's research reveals that the way we think about our abilities and intelligence can dramatically influence our success, happiness, and resilience. Whether you're a student, a parent, a professional, or simply curious about personal growth, understanding the power of mindset can transform your life. Let's begin by uncovering what mindset really means and why it matters so much. Carol S. Dweck is a renowned psychologist whose work has changed how we understand success and achievement. Her research focuses on the beliefs people hold about their abilities and how these beliefs impact their motivation and performance. Dweck's journey began with a simple question: why do some people thrive on challenges while others shrink from them? Through decades of study, she discovered that our mindset, the lens through which we view our abilities, can make all the difference. Let's dive into the two main types of mindsets she identified: fixed and growth. At its core, a mindset is a set of beliefs or assumptions we hold about ourselves and our abilities. Dweck's research highlights two primary mindsets: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset believe their qualities like intelligence or talent are set in stone. In contrast, those with a growth mindset see abilities as qualities that can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. These mindsets influence how we approach challenges, setbacks, and opportunities for growth. But how do these beliefs take root, and what impact do they have on our lives? Beliefs are powerful. They shape our desires, our goals, and our willingness to take risks. Dweck's tradition in psychology shows that even the simplest beliefs can have profound effects on our lives. If you believe your abilities are fixed, you may avoid challenges and fear failure. But if you believe you can grow and improve, you're more likely to embrace opportunities, persist through difficulties, and ultimately achieve more. This simple shift in thinking can unlock potential you never knew you had. Dweck's fascination with mindset began in the classroom. As a young researcher, she observed how children responded to difficult puzzles. Some kids saw hard problems as exciting challenges, while others felt defeated by failure. What set them apart? The children who loved challenges believed they could get smarter by working hard. They didn't see mistakes as failures, but as opportunities to learn. This observation sparked Dweck's lifelong quest to understand how mindset shapes achievement. How do people differ in their abilities and outcomes? For centuries, experts debated whether our traits are determined by genetics or shaped by our environment. Today, most scientists agree it's a combination of both. Our genes provide a starting point, but experience, training, and personal effort take us further. Even the inventor of the IQ test, Alfred Binet, believed intelligence could be developed. The key takeaway: your starting point doesn't determine your finish line. But what does it mean to have a fixed or growth mindset? If you believe your qualities are carved in stone, a fixed mindset, you feel a constant need to prove yourself. Every situation becomes a test. Will I succeed or fail? Will I look smart or dumb? On the other hand, a growth mindset sees traits as starting points for development. With effort, strategies, and support, anyone can improve. This belief creates a passion for learning and a willingness to face challenges head-on. History is full of people who defied expectations. Darwin and Tolstoy were considered ordinary children. Ben Hogan, one of golf's greats, was uncoordinated as a child. Cindy Sherman, a top photographer, failed her first course. These stories show that initial talent doesn't predict ultimate success. What matters is the belief that abilities can be developed. This mindset fuels perseverance, creativity, and achievement. Imagine you've had a rough day, a disappointing grade, a parking ticket, and a friend who brushes you off. How do you react? People with a fixed mindset might feel like failures, seeing these setbacks as proof of their inadequacy. Those with a growth mindset, however, see opportunities to learn and improve. They focus on solutions, studying harder, paying the ticket, and reaching out to their friend. The difference isn't in what happens, but in how you interpret and respond to it. I often hear sayings like, nothing ventured, nothing gained. But people with a fixed mindset may secretly believe, nothing ventured, nothing lost. They avoid risks and effort, fearing it will expose their weaknesses. In contrast, those with a growth mindset embrace challenges and see effort as the path to mastery. When we teach people to adopt a growth mindset, their attitudes toward challenge and effort change dramatically. Who has a more accurate view of their abilities? Surprisingly, people with a fixed mindset often overestimate or underestimate themselves. They distort information to protect their self-image. Those with a growth mindset, however, are more open to honest feedback. They see accurate self-assessment as essential for learning and improvement. This openness leads to better decisions and greater growth over time. Exceptional people have a knack for turning setbacks into future successes. Creativity researchers agree, perseverance and resilience are key ingredients in achievement. The growth mindset fosters these qualities, helping people bounce back from failure and keep striving toward their goals. Instead of seeing setbacks as dead ends, they view them as valuable learning experiences. Take a moment to reflect. Do you believe intelligence is fixed, or can it be developed? Dweck offers simple questions to help you identify your mindset. If you agree with statements like, you can always change how intelligent you are, you lean toward a growth mindset. The same applies to personality, artistic talent, or sports ability. Recognizing your mindset is the first step toward change. Think about someone you know who's always trying to prove themselves, avoiding mistakes at all costs. Now think of someone who embraces challenges and seeks growth. The difference lies in their mindset. When you face a new challenge like learning a language, notice how your mindset affects your feelings and performance. With a fixed mindset, you might feel anxious and judged. With a growth mindset, you see yourself as a learner, open to feedback and improvement. Most empowering message from Dweck's research is that mindsets are not set in stone. They are beliefs, and beliefs can be changed. By becoming aware of your mindset and intentionally shifting your perspective, you can open yourself to new possibilities. The journey to a growth mindset is ongoing, but every step brings you closer to realizing your potential. When you enter a mindset, you enter a new world. In the fixed mindset, success is about proving you're smart or talented. In the growth mindset, it's about stretching yourself and learning something new. Failure, effort, and challenges take on different meanings depending on your mindset. The good news, you have a choice. Mindsets are powerful, but they're just beliefs and you can change your mind. Benjamin Barber once said, "I divide the world into learners and non-learners. Everyone is born with a drive to learn, but the fixed mindset can stifle this drive. Even young children may avoid challenges to protect their sense of being smart. In contrast, those with a growth mindset seek out challenges, eager to learn and improve. The difference starts early, but it's never too late to change." Mindset influences real-life decisions. At the University of Hong Kong, students who needed to improve their English were offered a course. Those with a growth mindset eagerly accepted, seeing it as a chance to learn. Those with a fixed mindset declined, fearing exposure of their weaknesses. This pattern repeats in many areas of life. Mindset shapes the choices we make and the risks we're willing to take. Even our brains reflect our mindset. In studies, people with a fixed mindset paid attention only to feedback about their ability, whether they were right or wrong. Those with a growth mindset focused on information that could help them learn even after making mistakes. This shows that mindset not only shapes our behavior but also how we process information and feedback. Mindset doesn't just affect academics or work, it shapes our relationships too. People with a fixed mindset seek partners who make them feel perfect, while those with a growth mindset value partners who challenge them to grow. These differences can create tension, especially when two people have opposing mindsets. Growth-minded relationships encourage honest feedback and mutual development. Mindset plays a crucial role in leadership. Leaders with a fixed mindset may surround themselves with admirers and avoid criticism, losing touch with reality. In contrast, growth-minded leaders confront their shortcomings and seek continuous improvement. This difference can determine the long-term success of organizations, as seen in the contrasting stories of CEOs like Lee Iacocca and Lou Gerstner. People with a growth mindset don't just accept challenges, they thrive on them. Whether in sports, academics, or personal life, they seek opportunities to stretch themselves. The bigger the challenge, the more they grow. This attitude is visible in athletes like Mia Hamm and Patricia Miranda, who constantly push themselves beyond their comfort zones to achieve greatness. Sometimes, the growth mindset leads people to achieve what once seemed impossible. After a devastating injury, actor Christopher Reeve defied medical expectations by regaining some movement through relentless effort and belief in his ability to improve. His story changed how science views recovery and inspired countless others to push beyond perceived limits. People with a fixed mindset feel smart when they make no mistakes and succeed effortlessly. Those with a growth mindset feel smart when they tackle hard problems, make progress, and learn something new. For them, intelligence isn't about being flawless, it's about growing over time. This shift in perspective changes how we approach learning and achievement. Expecting to be perfect right away can be paralyzing. In the fixed mindset, one test or evaluation can feel like a permanent judgment of your worth. This pressure leads people to avoid challenges, hide mistakes, or even cheat to protect their self-image. The growth mindset, however, sees each experience as a step in a lifelong journey of improvement. Many of history's greatest achievers were not recognized as prodigies. Their potential took time to develop, often through years of effort, feedback, and learning from mistakes. The growth mindset recognizes that one test or expert opinion cannot define your future. True potential unfolds over time with persistence and the right mindset. Fixed mindset often leads people to seek validation and feel superior to others. Success becomes a way to prove you're special, while failure threatens your sense of worth. In contrast, the growth mindset values effort, learning, and personal development over being better than others. This shift fosters healthier self-esteem and relationships. In the fixed mindset, failure becomes an identity. I am a failure. This can lead to avoidance, blame, or even giving up. The growth mindset sees failure as an event, not a definition. It's a problem to be solved, a lesson to be learned, and a stepping stone to future success. This perspective builds resilience and adaptability. Stories like Jim Marshall's, who famously ran the wrong way in a football game, show how setbacks can be transformed into growth. Instead of letting failure define him, Marshall used the experience to become a better player and person. The growth mindset encourages us to face our mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Mindset even affects how we cope with depression. In studies, students with a fixed mindset were more likely to ruminate on their problems and let things slide. Those with a growth mindset, even when feeling low, took action to solve problems and maintain their responsibilities. The belief in growth fuels determination, even in tough times. Effort is often misunderstood. In the fixed mindset, effort is seen as something only the untalented need, but in the growth mindset, effort is what turns potential into achievement. Even geniuses and top performers work hard to develop their skills. Effort is not a sign of weakness, it's the engine of growth and success. Story of Seabiscuit, the unlikely champion racehorse, illustrates the transformative power of effort. Despite setbacks and doubts, Seabiscuit and his team persevered, ultimately achieving greatness. Author Laura Hillenbrand, who faced her own challenges, was inspired by this story of grit and determination. Through effort, both horse and author triumphed against the odds. For those with a fixed mindset, effort can feel risky. If you try your hardest and still fail, you have no excuses left. This fear can lead to avoidance and missed opportunities. The growth mindset, however, sees effort as essential. Trying and failing is better than not trying at all because every attempt brings you closer to your goals. In the growth mindset, not trying is the real risk. Looking back, people often regret the chances they didn't take more than the failures they experienced. Giving your all for what you value brings meaning and satisfaction regardless of the outcome. The growth mindset encourages us to pursue our passions wholeheartedly. Knowing about the growth mindset is just the beginning. The real transformation comes when you put these ideas into practice. When you catch yourself avoiding challenges or feeling discouraged by effort, remind yourself that growth comes from learning and persistence. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. You might wonder, can mindsets change? Can you have a mix of both? Is effort always enough? Dweck's research shows that mindsets can change, and most people have a mix of fixed and growth beliefs in different areas. While effort is crucial, resources and opportunities also play a role. The key is to focus on growth where it matters most to you. The growth mindset doesn't guarantee you'll be the best, but it allows you to love what you do and keep improving, even in the face of setbacks. Many top performers didn't set out to be number one, they simply followed their passion and embraced challenges. The journey itself becomes meaningful regardless of the outcome. Some people with a fixed mindset work extremely hard, driven by the need to prove themselves. They may achieve success but often struggle with criticism, mistakes, and setbacks. Growth-minded individuals also work hard, but their motivation comes from a desire to learn and improve, not just to validate their worth. You have a choice. The fixed mindset offers comfort and certainty but may limit your potential. The growth mindset opens doors to new experiences, learning, and personal development. You don't have to change everything, focus on areas where growth will bring the most value to your life. Growth mindset is about believing in the possibility of change, but not everything can or should be changed. Some preferences and values are deeply personal. The key is to focus on growth where it matters most and to accept imperfections that don't harm yourself or others. The growth mindset is a starting point for meaningful change. Confidence is not exclusive to the growth mindset. People with a fixed mindset may feel confident until they face setbacks. Growth-minded individuals build lasting confidence by mastering challenges and learning from mistakes. Even when they doubt themselves, they keep going, knowing that effort leads to improvement. Stories from athletes, students, and professionals show how the growth mindset transforms lives. Whether it's a golfer facing tough competition, a student struggling with new material, or a writer tackling a challenging project, the belief in growth fuels persistence, creativity, and achievement. These stories remind us that growth is possible for everyone. Ready to put the growth mindset into practice? Start by noticing when you avoid challenges or feel discouraged by effort. Remind yourself that learning and improvement are always possible. Seek constructive feedback, embrace mistakes as opportunities, and focus on progress over perfection. Every step you take strengthens your growth mindset. Achievement is rarely the result of lone genius or sudden inspiration. Even icons like Edison, Darwin, and Mozart relied on teamwork, feedback, and years of dedicated effort. The growth mindset recognizes that ability is developed over time, through learning, collaboration, and persistence. Your journey is unique and your potential is greater than you think. As we wrap up, remember, your mindset shapes your reality. The beliefs you hold about your abilities influence every aspect of your life, from learning and relationships to work and well-being. By choosing a growth mindset, you open yourself to new possibilities, resilience, and fulfillment. The journey isn't always easy, but every step brings you closer to your best self. Keep growing, keep learning, and unlock your true potential.